Welcome to the ACHA Western Regional Tournament from the ice sheet in Ogden, Utah. They call it the Weber County Ice Sheet. For us locals, it's just the ice sheet. Home of the Mustangs, a juniors team, but today it plays host to the regional tournament for ACHA Division II. You're watching on the Aggie Blue Ice YouTube channel. My name is Steve Coleman, and I am the regular broadcaster for Utah State. As always, on the camera with me is my son, Lane. He's a student there at Utah State, and this is something he and I do as a hobby. We started 6 years ago, and we do it for love of the game, love of the kids, and love of the parents who we know love to watch their kids. There's a lot of love involved. And as I mentioned, we're not trying to go pro. We're just here to have a good time. The opening roundup or opening matchups today will feature two teams who were fortunate to qualify, 11 and 12 seats, BYU and Grand Canyon University. The later game today will feature the ninth seeded team, which is Boise State, and Weber State, the home team and the host of the regional tournament here for this region. Those two teams met up a couple of weeks ago in the Mountain West Conference, and Weber State with a 4-2 victory. They put in an empty netter. 5-2 was the final score. However, it could be argued that Boise State overlooked a struggling Weber State team, and Weber State came to play and marched off with the victory. Weber State's played great hockey as well down the stretch here with 3 games against Utah State. Utah State won one of those games in overtime, and then a loss in Logan at home for the Aggies against Weber State. So tonight's matchup should be a good one. We invite you to stick around and join us for that game as well. Grand Canyon University is the opponent today against BYU, Brigham Young University. BYU just an hour and a half south of Ogden. Provo, Utah is their home. And their program, they've actually played a lot better this year than what we've seen in years past. They gave the Aggies quite a run a couple of times this year in matchups against Utah State, so we expect good hockey from them today. In addition, we were traveling with the Aggies earlier this season to Arizona, and we're able to see a Grand Canyon game. We were there to broadcast, and at the last moment, the Black Dog guys there at Grand Canyon asked us not to broadcast, so we did not, but we were able to at least see a game there with GCU down in Arizona. I believe maybe that's not totally correct. We did see GCU in Logan earlier this season, and they play good hockey as well. These teams are, I guess, not to be rude, bottom dwellers in the Western region. They just qualified, just barely made the qualifying. Nevertheless, they do have an opportunity to put a streak together and earn themselves a trip to nationals. We've seen good play from both of these teams. Only 20 seconds left here in the pregame. I believe they are going to have national anthem and some starting lineups, and we'll be set to go. For those of you interested, go ahead and comment on the YouTube channel right there. If we are Facebook friends, go ahead and send a message as well. I do take messages there as well. And hello to you, Aaron. You're a Utah State fan. You go ahead and enjoy the game today. And we're happy to have you aboard right off. We're assuming you can hear us and the video's good. If that's the case, go ahead and give us a shout out. We welcome fans from both teams, Grand Canyon University and Brigham Young University. They did not announce starting lineups for either team. It is Manzella, number 33, who gets to start for BYU in net. And Barabush, the goaltender for GCU. And I'm going to check the spelling on that. And it is right, Barabash. I had Bush. Callie, the captain, is set for the face-off for BYU. We may seem a little biased towards BYU just because we know the players a little more. We'll try to keep it evened up here as it's Murphy who slaps at the puck for GCU. The Lopes are going to hold it into their own zone and then spin away from the Cougars and eventually clear. Sent right back in, and Barabash will set it up. And the Cougars try to play some strong offensive physical play right off the bat. Turning with the puck for the Cougars is Frost. He'll send one toward the net, and the rising shot will catch the glass and drift to the corner. Picked up by the Lopes in their own zone. They had a man breaking, and it's kicked down by Shimbashi, speedy defenseman for BYU. And actually, he might be a forward. We'll check that. Nevertheless, he's got speed, and the Lopes will have to keep an eye on him today. He wears number 21. Here's Christensen for the Cougars. He'll make a move in the circle. It's poked off his stick on some good defense by the Lopes. Deep in the corner, the Cougars maintain control in the Lope zone. They'll spin it deep in the corner. The Lopes will take it away. Bodied up hard along the wall are the Cougars, and the Lopes will clear. One-on-one, they'll break out. They're into the zone, flip it across, and some good defense there by Pitcher to nullify the pass. The Lopes had a man streaking right down the slot. Pitcher, a good defenseman for BYU. He'll have plenty of minutes today on that defensive side for BYU. Skating with some speed through the neutral zone and around the defense. Winding and shooting, and Holmes gets his stick in the shooting lane. That's Kurek who wound up for the shot. There's another shot that's knocked down to defense. The Lopes will hold it in, but in the corner, only Cougars. They'll mishandle, and the Lopes will take it away along that far wall. And now back in the corner, they want to send it out in front, and the player a little slow getting to position. The Cougars able to clear the zone. There's a nice check And a steal by the Lopes. They're right back into the zone, poking away at it his pitcher. Knocked off his stick, and alone in front, the backhander floats over the top of the crossbar. GCU with the better chances here in the opening couple of minutes of the game. And we're just underway. Only 2.5 minutes gone by. High slot play. Looking backdoor, and that's denied by the Cougars, number 20. That's Wheeler. He played limited minutes against the Aggies, but he's had 2 good plays here already this afternoon. There's a pass across, gets through everyone. It'll come off the wall and picked up by Wheeler. He'll slap it off the boards and down the ice, but no further than the center line. And GCU recovers. Little miscue on the play there, and it's Frost backpedaling, sends the pass to the high slot, and that is harmlessly to the side of the net. Right back to the neutral zone. The Lopes work the play. And it's picked up by 77. That's Tweeten, and he's going to carry it into the zone, and some good play there again by Frost. The defense for the Cougars playing well as the offense for GCU finding its stride. Loose puck behind the Lopes netminder. And the breakout pass, not a good one. And the Cougars are right back on it now. The Cougars start to buzz as into the zone. It's Christensen. Christensen has some good stick handling skills, and he's not afraid to throw a shoulder either. It is Green for GCU, and there's Christensen, comes over, throws a check. He didn't knock Green off the puck. And GCU still has control. It's number 10, Payne. But it's Christensen who steals it away. Long shift for Christensen. He's checked, wants to drag it through the defense, and he's ridden off the play. Puck to the side of the net, and there's a good save by Barabash as he stayed glued to the post and made a save on that puck that came off the side of the net. So welcome to the broadcast, buddy. We have a broadcast partner here for the regional tournament, Mitch Slot.
Mitchell Slot, yeah.
Mitchell Slot. And we're happy to have you here today, buddy.
Thanks to be here. I appreciate it. I call the games for Weber State, enjoy doing it, and look forward to a good tournament this weekend.
I agree. It should be some good hockey. Here's Burrow. 3 wide, the Lopes into the zone. They'll put one in on Manzella, and he'll make what is his first save of the game. It's kind of odd to think that's his first save because GCU has spent plenty of time in this first 3.5 minutes inside the Cougar zone.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago during the playoffs, GCU gave Weber State all they could handle and actually beat them with their offensive attack. And I'm actually looking for BYU to step it up a little bit as they got a lucky bid in here this weekend as one of the teams pulled out. And a couple weeks ago, Weber State also played BYU, and it was a very tight matchup. And I'm looking for Christensen to do something offensively today with the help of Eisenstadt back on defense, helping him with the puck possession.
Murphy will gather it up in his own zone and then spin it around to Marolda. Breakout pass will miss. And in the neutral zone, the Lopes will pick it right back up. I forgot about GCU coming to that Mountain West Conference tournament. We saw them once in Arizona and once at Utah State, but I missed that game in Provo last month. Shimbashi with speed, can't split the defense. Loose puck's in the corner, and it's picked up by number 8, Salati. And Salati's still on it all the way to the center ice line. There's a big check as Frost caught his man off stride. That's Tweeten who went down, but he's right back up. No harm and no penalty. There's a long pass looking for Cowley, and he's offsides. He'll have to touch up, and when he does, GCU has the puck.
Gant, number 23 for BYU, another one of BYU's strong forwards out there on the smaller sizes, or on the smaller scale as far as stature is concerned, but he's got some good speed and good skill with his hands as well. number 3 for GCU, Green, is one of those guys you need to kind of keep your eye out if you're the defense for BYU today. He's the kind of player that has deceptively fast hands and feet and can put the puck in the net.
It is Green in the face-off circle here for the Lopes, but the Cougars win it and clear the zone. Hustling back on it is Curick. And he'll try the near side, and his pass off the boards and on the stick of the Cougars, and they'll just turn it right back over and carry it in. No, a good poke check there by the Cougars to keep the puck in the neutral zone. On the cross-ice dump, though, the Lopes will charge right in. It's Christensen far side. He can't catch up to the puck. And it's deep in the Cougars zone. That's Hemsley. A couple of weeks ago, Hemsley had a breakaway against Utah State. 10 feet out late on a shift. And the youngster didn't bury it, but I remember my eyeballs about as big as saucers,
They always get big.
His were too, but yeah.
When you get the puck 10 feet in front of the net, everybody's eyes get big, right?
Behind the net, losing an edge, a GCU player. We'll keep an eye on him. That was a hard crash into the boards. He's slow to get up. And he'll limp his way. He's asking for a line change. Looks like he's all right, though. Spinning with the puck, that's Murphy in his own zone as he makes a big circle and sends the pass up and into the zone. The Lopes will make a line change, and the Cougars will have it. Wheeler with the back pass, and he fans. And the puck's still loose in the Cougar zone. They'll come across now, and that's worked out by Simmons. Nope, wrong team. That's Cowley. Cowley and Eisenstadt for BYU. The open man is Tweeten, and he's into the zone for GCU. Ridden out of the play nicely, but right back on his skates behind the net. He wants to go to work, does Tweeten. He'll have some help there from a teammate. Tweeten puts it right in front. Loose puck still sits in the Cougars. Dangerous as they let the puck just sit right in front of Manzella. One unique thing about being here at Weber State is the high ceiling, buddy. Here's the Cougars in alone and shoot. That zips just wide of the post. This high ceiling allows you to scoop that puck.
You really do, and if you're cognizant of that, you can use that as a defensive player to lob that puck up and out. And it almost worked out last weekend when the Wildcats played Utah State. Unfortunately, the play was called off sides, but Weber's captain, aired one out from almost at his goal line, aiming for Coleman.
That's a little tough to do in Utah, up at Logan.
Yeah.
The low roof, you run it into the rafters and even the roof.
Yeah, one of the things I'm noticing today already in this game is I think nerves are playing a factor as pucks aren't coming off the sticks like they typically do. There's a lot riding on the game today for both teams. This is a win or go home tournament. Only one game is guaranteed, and I think both teams need to settle down a little bit and start gaining some possession, some true puck possession if they want to get the puck behind the tenders today.
It's Grant, and he wants to give it to Green. The Cougars will take it away, and Grant right back on it. It's in the corner, hustling after it. There is Hemsley, and he'll battle with Green in the corner. Grant never let him go, though, and still on it. Green, he whips one toward the net. And that skips just wide of the post. Right back out in front, and a good check there as the BYU defender refused to let Grant walk out in front of the net. And I'll have to catch a number on that. They still chatter away after the play, but regardless, Grant may have his feelings hurt, but that was a tremendous defensive play, and guess who? It's number 24, Christensen. I'm not surprised. The Cougars are able to clear, and it's gathered in the neutral zone by number 20. We don't have a name for number 20, but he plays it deep into the zone. They will set it up behind Manzella, now straight up the center of the ice with speed. Here come the Cougars, 3 wide, they'll gain the line. Around the defense, and the puck dribbles off a stick in the corner. They try to center. That's off the side of the net. And now it's GCU's turn. They'll gain the red line, drift it off the boards and deep into the corner. And they're going to say icing. Just a little ahead of the players was the puck. It'll cross that red line. We'll have the first icing of the game. It's been pretty speedy. We've reached the midway point of the opening period. No score. in our opening game for this Western Regional Tournament.
My question is here, as far as the refs are concerned, is what kind of game are they going to call? It's been pretty passive so far, a few big hits, but they've been clean. You know, are the refs going to be looking to keep the game slow, keep the sticks down, or are they going to let these boys play and battle it out for the championship here?
Another good check there by Shimbashi, which jars the puck free. The Cougars able to slap it deep. Now Shimbashi can't hold it in. It'll be Pitcher who charges after it for the Cougars in his own zone. He'll look for Shimbashi, but it's out of his reach. And then over skating was Salati. And now Shimbashi for the Cougars. That second breakout pass there is just not working for either team, as the Cougars will give it away again. Now it's Salati. That's not Salati, 26, buddy, and I don't have him on my roster. Yeah, I do. It's Kramer. And Kramer shows a little bit of speed. There's a loose puck along the far wall, and that's 17 Eisenstadt who has the puck.
That's the younger brother, Jansen Eisenstadt, of number 5, Jacob Eisenstadt, the elder of the two.
They both play good hockey. This
do.
is Salati right at the blue line. Snap it toward the net, not through the defense. And the Cougars chip it out of the zone. Gathered up and worked in by Kramer. He'll stop at the hash marks, and then it's poked off his stick. Hustling after it is Green. And then Christensen throws a big shoulder. He'll jar the puck free, and Christensen skates the other way. The defense is there, and well played by GCU Kurek as he knocks the puck in the corner. Here's the counter coming from GCU. That puck's going to be played with a high stick, and the result should be a face-off inside BYU zone. Again, for you latecomers into our broadcast today, it's Grand Canyon University versus BYU. 8:45 left on the clock in the opening period, and still no score. We have a little bit of help here today, so we should be able to get our clock running here in the second period for you. That way you don't have to rely on me to remember to tell you. Barabash. And now Green for GCU.
Eisenstadt with that long outlet pass there, looking to make something happen right before he made a line change, but unfortunately that just went off one of the GCU sticks, and now GCU has possession.
That errant pass again off the boards, but it's Manzella who sets it up as it was tipped, so no icing coming. And now with some crossover skating and speed, here come the Cougars. 3 wide into the zone. Eisenstadt fans on the attempt, as I think he wanted to just shovel it deep and wrap it around the boards. And GCU able to counter. Shimbashi in his own zone, though, and he'll try behind Manzella. And dangerous, he tried to skate it out from behind the net. And the defense was there for GCU, number 19, Hansen. And Christensen already a couple of big checks this afternoon.
Yeah,
not the Cougars. We mentioned that in the opening, that he would have a physical game today, and he has.
Yeah, you don't always have to have that big body in order to be a physical presence out here on the ice.
Yeah, the Cougars will throw it into their own bench. And as expected, these teams pretty evenly matched, at least so far here in the first period. Simmons, the faceoff win and a shot. Knocked down to the defense. The Cougars try to counter. No. But it does come outside the zone on the delayed offsides. The Lopes will touch up, but then throw a pass down the ice, and it's Salati behind Barabush. He'll make the good pass across the ice. Now they'll come right back. It's in the skates, though, of number 81, Wojnicki.
I wasn't too sure how to say that name myself looking at the spelling.
No. And I don't know why he's not on my deal. We've called him before in games past. Here's Frost, and he's in the lope zone for BYU, still on the puck as he's hassled. And then gives it up to the captain, Cowley. Cowley wants to work away from Kramer, but they tie him up, and then the centering pass taken away. 3-on-2 for the Lopes if they hurry, but nope, they're on a line change. Oh, too bad. The Cougars will lose an edge there. They'll give the puck up as they had a chance to counter. Now another one given away. Here's Tweeten. Tweeten's going to look, wait, wrap around behind the net. Can't jam it home, but he had an open net. There's the save, Manzella, as the rebound comes right in on net. You see that wide open cage as he goes to wrap around. Couldn't get the hook on the puck.
No, Manzella's one of those types of goalies that he's pretty active in his crease. Watched him play when he played for University of Utah a couple years ago, and he played the same style, but it works for him.
Pitcher for the Cougars. He'll spin it behind Manzella. It'll come to the near corner, and a big check there from the Lopes. Jars the puck free. But the Cougars will gather it right back up. And they want to break out with speed. It's the cross-ice dump, and it'll be Christensen near side as he's tackled by Curick, who takes the puck away. Still loose in the zone. Holmes flips one toward the net. That's gloved by Barabush. And a rare glove save by GCU. I think he's only gloved one or two stoppages, and we only have 5:40 left in the period. They don't have a shots on goal stat here at the Ogden Ice Sheet. We'll see if we can find that for you at the intermission. She'll send us a text here at intermission probably.
No doubt.
That's how we usually gather it up at Utah State. So here's Eisenstadt. He sends one through a crowd. And I say Barabush. Loose puck still side of the net, picked up by the Cougars. Eisenstadt at the blue line. Instead, they'll spin it into the corner. Frost will dig away at it, but he's challenged nicely by Grant. And GCU, they'll give a pass away on the breakout. Now slap one off a stick as Grant good on the second effort. Now Green's into the zone. He's offside, but he didn't touch up, and the referee or the linesman says play on. Skating with it, Shimbashi. He's slashed, and no penalty coming, but he stays on the puck behind the net, wants to center, and Grant says no. GCU now, the open man near side, will receive the pass. It's Green. Then he overskates, and Wheeler has it. Wheeler catches GCU on a line change, but the defense hustled back into position, and Wheeler sends it behind the net. No man out in front, and BYU is going to help the Lopes clear the zone. As Cowley missed the mark as he looked for pitcher. And the Cougars regathered. Cowley's going to send it in on the cross-ice dump, and Wheeler hustles after it for the Cougars. But it is GCU. That's number 28. Cassio, who has the puck in his pass. Aaron, they'll blow a whistle and say, I see. 4:24 left the opening period, no score.
You know, I said this earlier about the nerves and everything. It just appears that they're just not able to settle down yet. Pucks are still bouncing over sticks. Passes still going errant down the ice for icings. I'm wondering what it's going to take to get these boys going and kind of calm down a little bit.
I imagine all the games here on opening day and maybe some tomorrow probably be the same way. Here the Cougars center out in front. Backhand save, Barabush. Rebound. No, he hangs on. And a good backhand attempt. The best opportunity of the game by either team is Grant. Or let me see. Gant, yeah, 23. You mentioned him.
Yeah, not surprised with that backhand there. He likes to drive the net and put it up high sometimes. And sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't. That was one that could have been really dangerous for GCU.
He's about 7 feet out in front of the net straight away with a good angle. And a good save by Barabash. Loose puck in the Lope zone. But it's gathered up and worked out with speed. Here come the Lopes. Put on the brakes. And in the shooting lane is pitcher. And the shot doesn't get through. That puck is kicked out, and Burrow has it. He'll send a floater from the neutral zone. Just wide of the net. The Cougars chip it right back out. Curick has it. And back into the zone now. Eisenstadt will dig it out of the skates of Manzella. And the long pass held up right in front of the penalty box by Gant. His pass, an errant one, and GCU takes it away. 77 is Tweeten. And he'll go cross ice. It's picked up by Keurig. And he'll just leave it for Tweeten with speed. He's held up and could have been a penalty there, but the ref says play on, and now a save by Manzella as the Lopes dance to the front of the net. That's Duca, D-U-C-C-A.
And shots right now at this point are 8-6 with that shot. And that goes to what you were saying as far as the even matchup in this first game of the tournament. And both teams wanting to make something happen for sure.
That's only one C on that, Duca. And he had the best chance of the afternoon for GCU. Barabash plays it off the wall behind the net. Loose puck out in front on the awkward bounce, and good defense there by number 5, Murphy. He just slides the puck casually right into the pads of his goaltender, and he'll cover for a whistle.
I'm actually surprised there's been no penalties yet.
BYU, I think, got away with a couple. Well, GCU on a big slash right here on Shimbashi.
Yeah, right there at the top of the circles.
Yeah, and then a hold over here maybe, but the ref says play on in both cases and no penalties, 3 minutes. All that remain in this first period. Cougars wanted that face-off win in the Lopes zone, but no, the Lopes able to clear. Now a battle by Shimbashi and Murphy. And Murphy just slaps it down the ice. Eisenstadt will pick it up. He'll use the net for protection, then put on the brakes and give the puck away. Green hassles him all the way. Now it's Grant. In the corner is Grant. He's double-teamed, and a good check there by the Cougars. The puck still loose in their own zone. Now it'll cross that blue line, and gathering up is Murphy. Onside are the Lopes, but Manzella's in possession of the puck. And now the long pass to Cowley. He had to avoid the check of Salati, so he dumps it in. On the far side, 2 players come together. Loose puck picked up by Grant. Big number 37 for GCU. Tries to go off the wall, and a good check by Frost. The puck comes free. And Grant tried to pass it to himself off the wall. Cowley, some good position there for BYU. It's Pitcher now, who has some room to skate. He'll gain the line, and the big defenseman's deep in the corner. Cowley will play the point. Pitcher wants the center. Knockdown. Cowley shoots. And that's tipped up and out of play. 1:47.
Yeah, I like the way
on the clock.
Pitcher used his long stride to gain the zone there, and he went wide looking for an angle. Had Cowley right here just around the half boards, and then he gave it back to him. Cowley put on a nice shot, just went right off the head of the goaltender.
At the point, it's Holmes. He'll wrap it off the glass and deep in the corner. The Cougars will help it along. Hemsley's going to charge after it. He'll have company there in Couric. And now a bouncing puck gathered up by the Cougars. And they'll hold it into the zone. Alone in front. Drag the puck back. And Christensen couldn't put it toward the net. A nifty move as he draws it to his forehand. Tried to load the stick, and at the last moment poked away. The Cougars right back in on the attack, and Barabush is out of his net. He'll throw it right through the defender, and the Cougars will pick it up in the corner. A double team there, and it's taken away by Simmons. Simmons can't clear the zone. The Cougars top of the circle, wind and shoot, and hustling back was Couric. And a good thing he did. He knocked down the shot, and it never made it on net. The Cougars Eisenstadt spinning away from some pressure. As 28 Casio all over him. And the Cougars now deep in their own zone. They want to break out. Christensen avoids the check, but the puck is free. And now GCU right back in. They want to go around Shimbashi. Shimbashi says no and takes the puck away. Then he's upended. Could have been a penalty, and no, they say play on. Oh, I looked for the hook on that one as Shimbashi upended the side of his own net.
Yeah, that definitely looked like a hook as Shimbashi was trying to come out of the zone there.
And now Tweeten is in. Here come the Lopes. Sends it across for Tweeten. And at the last moment, broken up by the Cougars. BYU with the puck, and only 10 seconds left in the period. Into their own zone. Now it's down to 6-5. 4-3-2. And the horn will sound, and that will end the opening period. A spirited bout between Grand Canyon University and BYU. We end the period 0-0. We'll take our first intermission break and be back with second period action from the Weber County Ice Sheet in Ogden, Utah. It is the Western Regionals ACHA Division II Tournament. right there, pal. Yep. Well, we had a little bit of it as our camera came unplugged, and then right before we start, the internet crashed, which is odd because it's hardwired, but we're back in action. Still no score.
Zones.
And it's Boyer. He'll give it to Carlson, and Carlson is in. Works around Salati.
You know, I think one of the things that might help these two teams, Steve, is if they would try to shorten the ice a little bit. Both teams trying to make 50-foot passes, cross ice passes, and they're just not connecting very well on them.
I'll tell you what, pal, we battle that internet as it's going up and down like crazy, but we're back on, so we'll keep the show alive as long as we can. We had a good period, the first period, with internet. Now it's a little tough, but into we're green now, and green is good.
Green is always good, my friend, always good.
Still no score here. 4 minutes have rolled off the clock. Actually, 3 is all here in the